Monkey D. Luffy. And I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
Am I the only one, or did that actually look pretty good? From what's been teased so far, it seems like they've managed to capture all the elements that make Oda's work the legendary saga that it is. The wild spirit of adventure, larger-than-life characters, and over-the-top action. Perhaps most importantly, I think Netflix has learned from its past adaptations, and instead of carbon copying the original characters, taken some creative liberty in adapting them to more appropriately fit a live-action setting. Take this scene, for example.
Mutiny.
Live-action Luffy exhibits a trait that the original doesn't possess: comedic wit. Oda's Luffy is, by most measures, a lovable idiot, and it's his lack of social awareness that makes him as endearing and hilarious as he is. This works in the anime because expressions can be exaggerated by the artist to match the absurdity of Luffy's unawareness. In live action though, the same lack of social awareness would just come off as awkward, so it makes sense that live action Luffy has a bit more wit to him. Netflix also seems to have preserved the essence of the main characters. Luffy appears happy-go-lucky and optimistic to a fault. Zoro and Sanji are cool and capable, Nami's the only one on the crew with a brain, and Usopp for the most part seems to be comedic relief, which makes sense as his development comes a bit later in the series. The CGI looks a little goofy at parts, but overall, not too shabby. I haven't felt this good about a live-action adaptation since... Oh, wait a second. I think the chill that runs down the spine of any anime fan when they see a promising live-action trailer is the fear of whether that adaptation will actually capture the same feeling amongst its viewers as the original did. Netflix's Cowboy Bebop was aesthetically pleasing, had decent action sequences, and scored music produced by the same composer and band as the original. But ultimately, it felt like a soulless ripoff. Smarter people than me have tried to explain why the Bebop live action crashed as hard as it did. But I think all it really came down to was the adaptation not being able to recreate that nostalgic, melancholic feeling in the hearts of viewers that the original did all those years ago. Adaptations will always be held to the standards of their source material, and the original Cowboy Bebop is one of the most nuanced pieces of work released across any medium in the last 3 decades. If you were to ask 100 viewers what they thought the series was about, you'd get 100 different answers. In adapting Cowboy Bebop, Netflix took on the improbable task of recreating a distinctly unique story that meant something different to every single one of its original viewers. While One Piece is complex in its own right, its main themes are a lot clearer. Adventure, friendship, and big titties. Hang on, that last one wasn't right. Masculinity. It's not the only show to embody these themes, and there are certainly live actions with similar messaging that have achieved critical success in the past. And so, Netflix should have an easier time in creating an adaptation that captures the soul of the original. If the trailer is an accurate representation of what to expect, I think they just might pull it off.